Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Cyberpunk 2077. As the title suggests, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to get iconic legendary weapons and generally recipes that will allow you to craft some really good weapons. Now what you're looking for is the areas on the map that have that blue skull. Now in doing so and coming to these locations, you will get a call from a police officer, just like you saw there. Basically, you have to take them all out. There will be a kind of like a mini boss character that you'll have to finish. And once you do that, the mission is completed. And on that character, you will find a recipe, a blueprint for some sort of iconic legendary or iconic rare type of weapon or piece of gear. So definitely worth doing these. They are not that difficult. You can do these fairly easily mid-level, even early on if you do have a good gun. If you have Comrade's Hammer, it does help a great deal. But you can do this with so many other ways and methods. It's really not that difficult and definitely worth farming them in your spare time. And I'd say quite early on, because you can, once you have the recipe, you can craft that item. And of course it's worth noting that you will want to invest in the crafting skill, which is severely overpowered, singly the best skill to have in the game, because you can craft legendary weapons and legendary and iconic stuff which will level up with you. You'll have to of course invest in the materials that you need to level them up continuously as you level up. However, they do have some really good perks, the legendary weapons that you will pick up from these locations, or the blueprints, and they all have their own little unique quirky ability. Some of them will cause your targets to explode when they die. Others will shoot through walls, such as the gun that I'm using, which is Comrade's Hammer. And it's all a case of basically killing off all of the bad guys. Now of course this is how you get Comrade's Hammer. It is an iconic, and it is, as you can see, quite powerful, quite worth picking up, and I've not even fully finished leveling up this gun. Now of course most people that have played this game for a while will know about this, and so this guide is aimed at those that don't know. It is definitely worth doing these. I'd actually focus on these before continuing with the main mission or even the side missions. They're totally worth doing, and it will make a difference in your gameplay. It will make life a lot easier. So here is the blueprint recipe for a iconic legendary weapon. Now of course we're going to start crafting it I think rare quality, then upgrade it into epic quality, and then into the legendary quality. Now to do this, of course, you will need to have invested quite a few points in the crafting skill. So very important. Crafting is single-handedly the best skill to invest in, especially for handguns as well. It helps so much. Of course, also loot all of the other bits and pieces. Even if you don't need them, you can always break them down for the raw materials. It's definitely worth being greedy in this game. I'll also show you what they look like on the map, little skull icons, so you guys can see. But definitely do not pass these by. It is absolutely worth doing. They're actually quite fun as well. There's plenty of enemies to play around with and deal with, and the reward is absolutely worth it. So I think this is this area clear. I will also show you what this looks like on the map so you guys can find them. I'd probably go for these types of areas as fast or as soon as possible, and of course goes without saying, focus on the crafting skill, and then probably anything else that you fancy afterwards, but definitely invest in the crafting skill. I think that's pretty much it for this area. So this is where I'm at on the map. Now of course the skull is not there anymore, so we'll find another area and then I will start recording and I'll show you what they look like on the map. But there are plenty of these to go around and have some fun and pick up some really good loot, especially when it comes down to the blueprints. Those are really, really nice and good and powerful. So here we are with another bad guy down. We've just kind of partially completed. There are still a bunch of baddies around to deal with, but I'm going to show you the location on the map. So you saw the blueprint there. That is again an iconic legendary blueprint. That is of course a smart pistol, and here is the location. This is what it looks like on the map right there, and so this is where I'm situated. There's quite a few of them scattered about, and I recommend them for the blueprints that they have to drop. Plus they also seem to drop a lot of rare weapons, so even if you cannot craft them just yet, there's still plenty of these rare weapons that you can pick up and use until you get to a point where you craft them. So I say do these, don't ignore them. I think there's a lot of good stuff here, and even if you break them down for parts, you still get good parts for it. As you can see, there's so much stuff here to loot, it's crazy. And all of these areas have this same thing in common. There's loads of things to loot, loads of boxes, loads of loot, and you will get a very good blueprint. In my case over here, I got an epic weapon. We've got some epic bits of gear. I'm just kind of showing you what there is around, just to kind of give you an idea. I think they're fun, I like them, and are absolutely worth doing. Now, as you saw, I don't have very many of them left because I've done them all. I really personally like these things, these options, these little side jobs that the game has to offer. So this is actually one of the last ones that I've got available, and I thought I might as well show this off as well, what you get from it. You can do them in any order you want, really makes no difference. I tend to go around looting everything, and I really look forward to the blueprints. I've covered some of them separate in their own videos, but I mean, you don't even need a guide for these. You just basically follow the blue skull, go and kill off all the bad guys. One of the bad guys will have a interesting blueprint to pick up. It's often a iconic blueprint. It can be a legendary iconic blueprint, or sometimes you may get a rare iconic blueprint. Either way, it is a iconic item that you will get. And what's best about it is a craftable item. So if you invest in the crafting skill, items that you craft will do more damage or have better values in terms of armor and stuff like that. So definitely goes hand in hand with crafting, which of course is why I recommend doing these. I'm going to show the blueprint off in this specific section. You can see the little skull icon that is around, so it is one of those areas. With that being said and done, I think I'm going to end this here. This is something that most people will know or will have discovered through their own gameplay, but for those that don't know, this is why I made this video. It does help with getting those wonderful blueprints. So as you can see, we get some epic items as well. So if you need armor, this is a good place to come and do stuff like this and get some epic stuff. Of course, there's loads of free legendary items that you can pick up as well in terms of armor. So it's up to you what you want to do with them. You can break them down, store them for later. I don't know.
Thanks.
Doesn't really make much of a difference, especially with the amount of good legendary items that you can find just lying around, and you don't really have to fight anything for them. But if you don't want to do that or haven't found any of those, then you can always get some good stuff from these kind of locations. So go down there now. Normally the NPC that had the blueprint is marked with an X on the map, so you can see a purple X on the map. That's basically where you want to go and pick up that blueprint, and I'll show that off in a little bit. And of course we get annoyed by the Delamain taxes. But with that being said and done, that is it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please do not forget to support me in the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Setopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description. And until next time, stay safe, folks.